Hey guys, Brown Bear here. Today I'm going to show you how to do tanker callouts in the MissionEditor for a more realistic mid-air refueling experience. What I mean by tanker callouts is the fact that the tanker will call out distances to you as you get closer to the basket or to the boom. So in theory, in this instance, it'd be 30 feet, 20 feet, 10 feet, 5 feet, and then the tanker obviously calls contact when you contact with the boom or the basket. So I'm going to show you how to do that using moving trigger zones. So in the MissionEditor, we're in the Caucasus map here. All we want to do is put a plane in. So let's just call this tanker. Let's set a scale to ace just in case gets any ideas. Put them 18,000 feet, speed of 430 knots, and we will change the end type to a KC135 PRS. So he has a basket because we're going to use an F-18 Hornet. So we will put a nice long waypoint in here. Always a good idea in DCS to do an initial waypoint because sometimes the AI in DCS is a bit weird. So put an initial waypoint in and then just stick to the main one in. So I'm going to make sure he's tanker, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get another plane. Going to put him pretty close, just so I don't have to wait too long. So we'll put this guy, just call him plane for now. Real creative here. We'll put him to ace, we'll make him a Hornet. Put him at the same altitude, just for time's sake, save his speed, 430 knots. And same principle, let's give him an initial waypoint and give him another waypoint further out. Obviously we want him to refuel, so we need to add an advanced task, perform task, refueling. Sorry, my bad, delete that, go back and do that from the start. So we do it from waypoint 1, yeah, here. So add that, perform task, refueling. Now, he's not going to refuel obviously if he's full of fuel, so we need to take some fuel off him. Let's give him 30%, and that is it for the plane side of things. Now, trigger zones. So we need, the idea here is that we need, once our Hornet gets within a certain range of the tanker here, he's going to trigger different zones, and those different zones are going to trigger an audio message. So in our case, a pre-recorded audio message that I've recorded for each of the different sections, being 5, 10, 20 and 30 feet. And then we're going to apply those sounds to those trigger zones, and then apply those trigger zones to a moving target, in this case, which is the tanker, the KC135. So let's go ahead and do that. So we need to create a trigger zone. Let's zoom right on in here. Sorry about the mouse sounds, guys. I need to get a quieter one, another one this week, I promise. Click anywhere, change the name, and we'll call this 5 feet. And we need to give this a radius. Obviously this radius is way too big, so if I zoom on out you can see just how big this radius is. So zoom back in here, and I've pre-did my maths on this already. This took quite a while, trial and error. So I know the 5 feet marker is about 155 feet in total, and the way DCS judges this is from, relatively speaking, I believe it's from this the object marker here, so where the K is on the actual KC135. So on some planes, like on the S3B tanker from for the carriers, this icon is actually further up, further forward. So in that case, you would move your trigger zone up over that. So in this case, anyway, 5 feet trigger zone, give it a radius of 155 feet, and all we do is drag it, put it on top of the K, right there. It's good enough, doesn't have to be bang on. Create another trigger zone, click anywhere, call this 10 feet, by the distance, in this case it's going to be 160, because our 5 feet marker was 155. Move that over the center again, another trigger zone, you get the idea here, 20 feet, and we're naming them because we're going to have to assign triggers to them, audio triggers. So this one is 170, over, another trigger, 30 feet, and this is the last one, and this is 180. So move this up over the middle of the tanker here, and then we're done. So if I zoom for now, so if we zoom out, you can see these are the different trigger zones, and as the plane enters this one, it's going to trigger the 30 feet call out, this one 20 feet, this one 10 feet, this one 5 feet. At this stage, believe it or not, the boom goes from here, and it's about there is where you'd actually make contact. So good enough. So that's fine. So we need to assign our audio callouts, or if you can put a message out, a text message out if you want in the top right corner, instead of an audio message if that's your thing. No judgment here. So for this one, we need to go into set rules for trigger, and we want to assign the audio file or message, text message that we want to create to these particular zones. So in triggers, click new. We want this as a switch condition. The reason we want this as a switch condition is if we select once, what will happen is every time our hornet enters this area here, which is the 30 feet marker, it will play the sound in this instance, so call out 30 feet. But if it drops back again, say it hits the brakes or reduces the throttle or whatever, and goes back into the zone, the 30 feet zone, the sound won't play. So in this, that's why it's called obviously a once trigger. So if we wanted to do repetitive action every time we enter this zone, so we only enter the zone once, it'll keep playing that sound file or displaying that message. And the same for 20 feet, 10 feet, and 5 feet. We don't want that. We drive us insane. Switched. So we want switched condition, which means every time we enter this zone, this 30 feet zone, what will happen is the message will play. We'll call it 30 feet. So in this instance, once we pass this into this 30 foot zone, we set this trigger to true. If we come back out of it, the trigger goes to false. When we come back into it again, it goes to true. So every time the trigger is true, this the sound file will play in this instance. And if we wanted to do mission start, obviously this happens at mission start only. So in this instance, we're going to do switch condition. We'll call this 5 feet. We'll do a new condition. The type is going to be, I don't know why that didn't do that, so thank you very much. 5 feet. Type is going to be unit inside moving zone. The unit is going to be the plane, which is obviously our hornet. The zone is going to be 5 feet, and the zone unit, which is obviously what ties the actual object to the moving zone, or to the zone, and then two of them move together, is this here, the tanker. So we want the tanker to be assigned to these zones, and these zones to move with the tanker. So, and that's it, right? Then we want to play a sound file once we pass each of these markers. So we're doing 5 feet first. So let's go actions. Let's go sound. Let's do sound to. You can do sound to all, sound to coalition. So red, blue, whatever. Country specific if you want, or a group, which is what I usually do. But for the sake of this, let's just do sound to all. We'll open this, which is these are my pre-recorded audio files. We'll go 5 feet. Okay, you can hit play and preview the file if you want, or you can set a delay here. So if you want to pass that marker, for example, and you don't want it to play for 10 seconds after you've passed a certain point or a certain trigger, you can do that. for now we don't want that. Right here we're going to clone this. We're going to call this 10 feet. We're going to change this zone here to 10 feet and the corresponding audio file, because we wanted to call out 10 feet when we pass the 10 feet marker. Clone again, just to make life a bit easier for you. Change this to 20 feet. Change the zone to 20 feet. Change the file to 20 feet audio file. And the last one is going to be 30 feet. No, 30 feet. Change the zone to 30 feet and the sound file to the corresponding 30 feet. And that's it for now. So what we'll do is we'll hit play or fly. Don't want to save for now, thank you very much. And let's start. Now I have the sound off. Sorry, the world sound off rather, it's just so we can don't get really blown off with jet sounds and we can hear the audio, the call outs. So let's switch to the horn here and zoom out. Let's speed up a bit of time so we don't have to wait all day. Okay, volume's up, grand. Go, there's a 30 feet call out. Slowly but surely. There we go. And then obviously you won't hear the next call out because it's you never hear the contact call out. I don't think you do anyway. Not for AI particularly outside the jet. So there you go. He's in the basket, and that's it. So look, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it was helpful. But you can assign the same principle, same logic to absolutely anything. So if you can assign this to an enemy ground target, for example, or an enemy or a friendly convoy, whatever takes your fancy. So look, I hope it was useful. Please feel free to like, and please do support the channel, guys, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And in the description below you'll see the link to my new Discord channel as well, which myself and a few people have just started up. So really appreciate if you could come join us and say hello. And look, if you want to see any particular content yourself, leave a comment and tell me what you'd like to see or what you need help with, or come to the Discord channel, shoot the breeze with me and the lads, and we can answer any questions there or give you some tips, whatever you need. So more than happy to help. That's what we're here for. That's why I started this. So with that, I'm going to announce the winner of the Pimax Comfort Kit, which I uploaded last week, and all I asked from people was to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. So not that there was much competition, but anyway, congratulations to Frank Hopkinson. Well done, mate. I will leave a link in the description of this video to my Discord channel, which if you could please go ahead, join that, and then we can have a direct message or a conversation to exchange details so I can get that comfort kit out to you. So I hope this was enjoyable, and as always, stay safe, and thanks very much, guys. Take care.